Okay, guys, here we go. We're ready to kick off season 2 proper, not including the pre-season we've just done. Spoiler alert, if you didn't see the last one, we did manage to go and win the pre-season tournament, which is exactly what I wanted to do, more or less just to prove to myself that the squad is better than the one I inherited, which would prove to be the case, judging off the performance levels of all the players, how fluent they were, how sharp they were, how much more free and fun the actual team felt to use during the tournament. So we've definitely made progress, which is good. It's obviously what we like to see. And off the back of the tournament, as you can see here, these are all the prize money emails that we got and the well done for winning the tournament. So again, we've had a start to the season where we've collected another cup, which is obviously the ultimate aim. We want to lay claim to as many trophies as we can, no matter what significance they hold. A trophy at the end of the day is still a trophy, building up the prestige of the club. As you could see there, winning the tournament also just ticked us over 5 million to spend this season. While we're here, we might as well look at the youth objectives. We need to sign 2 players in the forward position from the academy, which is really annoying considering that's probably the one position we don't need any players in. And they want us to sign 3 players younger than 20, which are better than the ones that we've got in the squad, which should take care of itself with the right back and the midfield bolstering we talked about in the last episode. Brand exposure is just like last season. It's something that we don't really have much control over with these ones. Again, increase the season ticket holders to at least 10% of the ground's capacity. There's nothing I can do about that. We're not in anything continental, so that's no problem. This season, domestic success is low priority, which is exactly what I've been saying. Hopefully we can go further in the cup than we did last year. But as far as League 1 is concerned, as long as we stay in it, I'm more than happy with that this season. And then we move over to financial. This one's a bit more worrying this season because the priorities moved up to medium. And again, there is no way that we're going to make anywhere near 18 million this season. So we're not going to do that one, which makes all of the others really need to be done. The brand exposure, hopefully we'll get a bit of luck there, and definitely the youth one. So away from there, the objectives, I've put together a short list of right wing backs and right backs. Just because that was what I identified as the most important position. So I want to try and get that done within this transfer window, hopefully. And then in the January one, we can start looking at the midfielders, should nothing come from the youth academy. So that's that took care of. And youth staff is probably where we're going next. There was that Finnish scout that I was on about, who's actually not there now, but he's been replaced by Ben Ross from Scotland. And I have decided that we are going to go ahead and get a youth scout, especially considering that we need specific positions again for another board objective. And also, as well as that, it just completes the youth infrastructure at the squad. We don't really need to look at that now for if we're still at Warsaw for another few seasons now, really. And we can start looking at the proper scouts from next season, depending what kind of money we've got available. We just got a little notification there that he's been sent to Wino, so we'll just get rid of that. We did send him to Ireland because we already have scouts in Scotland and England. And they did turn up some good results last season, so I can't see any reason why we wouldn't send them there again. And hopefully we can get some similar results from Ireland with the strikers, so we can just tick that one board objective off as quickly as possible. Going into the team, this is what the first team is going to look like for the first game of the season. We've got Jackson, who we can't put Hardy there, that's why he's up front, because he's one of the highest rated players in the team. Llorenzi, the other side, is one of the highest rated players in the team. And we can't drop Hardy because he's the club captain. If you was looking during pre-season, I tried him where Llorenzi is. He just couldn't get into the game enough. Tried him in midfield, same thing, and he left us a bit exposed, if I'm honest, defensively. So he's got to play up front. So like I mentioned in the last episode, it's going to be a case of Hardy and Lavery just rotating. And you're also going to have Cam Solber and Jackson rotating. And that is what the first team and the bench are going to look like for the foreseeable future, really. At least until we get another right back and some more midfielders. So that being said, we'll now go and put up on the transfer list all of the players that we don't really want. But one thing that I will say is, because of the numbers as they stand at the moment, no player is leaving this club until we get... What's going on here? We can't actually put him on the transfer list because he's been loan listed, in which case he's just going to get released. No player is leaving the club until we've got replacements coming, just because we're so thin on the ground. But we will listen to offers, obviously. So that's the squad took care of for now. We've got a bit of training to do here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Still the same drills at the moment, but I'm still considering dropping Jackson out and trying to boost up someone else to that level. And now we're getting to the competitive season as well. That's where I said I would do it. So the league this season, we've got Wickham, Southend, Shrewsbury, Portsmouth, who is our first game, Peterborough, Oxford, MK Dons, Mansfield, who came up with us, Luton, Gillingham, Fleetwood, Doncaster, Coventry, Colchester, who came up with us, Charlton, Carlisle, who came up with us, Burton, Bolton, who we played last season in one of the cups, Blackpool, Barnsley, Accrington, and Wimbledon. That's who we're going to be facing off against this season. And I've already had a look, like I said. Portsmouth is our first game. And that might be the only one in this episode, just to get the season kicked off. Considering everything else that we've done leading up to the game already. So all there's left to do now, I think we've covered pretty much everything, is just start advancing and see what comes up before the Portsmouth game. We've got a message from Scar there, and interest shown in one of the players that's on our shortlist, so we'll have a look what's happening there before we move on any further. Club Bruges are in after one of the players from Derby that's on our list, and they've offered 5.9. There's no point us even combating that because we don't have that kind of money to spend, quite simply. And Scar has said he's glad that he's been transfer listed. That's probably because he didn't play much at the back end of last season. So yeah, we'll just say glad we're aligned. I don't think he'll even be on the bench when the new right back comes in, so that's not too much of an issue. Any offer that comes in from Scar, I will listen to and maybe even accept, just because we already know we're going to replace him pretty much straight away. And other than that, I'm just floating around here. We've looked at everything, we've touched on everything, so it's just head towards the game again, I think. Like I say, guys, this will probably be the only match that we do in this particular episode, just because, like I said, we've sorted everything else that we needed to sort. That's a good set of results there. We sorted everything that we need to sort leading into the game. I'll just want to put a bit of gameplay in this one and get the season kicked off, and then we'll start having a look at what we're going to do moving forward, because of restrictions on my time this season that I didn't have during the first one. So that it might just be that there's less highlights I don't know yet. I don't want to commit to something or say something that I'm not going to stick to. So we'll take the first episode with just the Portsmouth game, and then we'll have a look at what we're going to do in the next one when the next one comes around. This message I don't really understand because he is actually in the first team. This one is the more routine one, so I might, just to keep him happy, bring him on at some point during the game. And we've got a scout report from our youth academy. This Mason Lewis guy, I think in the end he's just going to end up going, because I want players in the 90s like the rest of the ones in the squad. So I'll probably get rid of him, and what we're going to do now is just advance further towards the game. Okay then, here we go. It's time to get Season 2's competitive season kicked off. We're away at Fratton Park and Portsmouth to get the game underway. They're just knocking it around the back at the moment. We've not really put any pressure on the ball just yet. We're trying out the 4-3-3, first game of the season. Just to test to see how we get on. And it's not looking good at the start here. Before we've even kicked the ball, Portsmouth have had a shot. Thankfully it wasn't on target, but even so, hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. At the moment we're just moving the ball around the back nicely, but we're really struggling to get through the midfield. I don't know if it's because they're playing the 4-2-3-1, but you can see there, as soon as we try and move forwards, they're just getting the ball off us. They're too quick and strong at the moment. And they've got another chance here, and this time they've hit the post. Keeper was rooted to the spot. This time it's Evans. Same sort of position, but this time it's pretty much on target. And if that creeps on the inside, the keeper's not even moving. First 15 minutes it has literally been all Portsmouth. We just literally cannot get the ball through the midfield and forward lines. They're pressing really high, but at the same time there's not any room in behind. I've got to be honest, I'm struggling to figure out what to do at the moment. Like I say, there's no route to goal, and this is the first time we've got the ball over the halfway line in the first 15 minutes. And at that same amount of time, Portsmouth have had two clear sights of goal. We've got one here though, if Hardy can get it across, but he can't. It was a decent effort, but we just couldn't find that final pass. And the first half is drawing to an end, and it has literally been all Portsmouth. I just can't get through, guys. It feels really, really difficult at the moment. We might have a moment here though, right just before half time. Jackson's through, and he hits it straight at the keeper. Yeah, that's as good as it's got this half. That's probably our second chance. Portsmouth have had a hatful, but they weren't even close. But that's just down to their finishing. Hopefully we can do much better in this second half. We've switched up to the 4-2-3-1 and matched them, since that's what we played probably best with last season. We've had to do something because we're literally just hanging in there in the first half, but we are in big trouble now because that pass has just split us wide open and we are 1-0 down already in the second half, and that is bad news because we do not look like scoring at all. That pass just completely, as soon as I saw it, even before we played it, I spotted the run but couldn't get a defender to track it with him, and he's left our defence for dead, and it is 1-0 Portsmouth. And we get the game kicked off again. Still no joy, guys. We just tried to play a through ball to Lavery, but that's got picked off as well. We've tried being direct, patient, going wide, going through the centre. We just don't seem to have the answers today. As long as we can stay in it, hopefully we can nick one before the end of the game, but it's really not looking likely. And the goal scorer has just been subbed off for them. We played a nice little pattern on the edge of the box there, and it's 2-0. Keeper made a good save. Ball's come right back out to him. This number 10 of theirs, he's been a danger all game long. He's literally just shot from anywhere, gets free in the box, keeper makes a good save, rebound goes straight to him, and he just puts it in the net. And for his reward, he's subbed off. So yeah, we're now 2-0 down. I think that's game, if I'm being honest, already. And they could be in again straight away here. Is that offside? That's not offside. This has got to be 3. It is 3. And that is game now, 100%. We've been taught a lesson in this game. I didn't think that the step to League 1 from League 2 was so big. It's not been in recent games. Maybe I underestimated it, I don't know. But we're not in big trouble now. We're out of this one. I don't know if we'll even get a consolation. We've just got to make sure it doesn't turn into an absolute battering now on the opening weekend. We need to save that morale, and hopefully the players don't come unhappy with this. It is the opening game. Hopefully this will be one of the tougher games of the season. And I think Laurenzi has just got us a penalty there. The guy just slid us. He didn't really need to. We weren't going anywhere, but we might get on the scoreboard at least. Curtis coming off for those now. And Kinsella hit an absolute beauty of a penalty in pre-season, so I'm not going to take him off this one. And hopefully we do get the same result again, and we do get one goal back. We've got 8 minutes left. We see what we can do. We've got nothing to lose now, really. But I still don't fancy our chances of getting back into this one. Portsmouth get us underway again for the last few minutes of the game. They'll probably just keep the ball now, to be honest, because the momentum will have swung in the match now. With us being the last team to score. I mean, we won it back quicker than we have done at any point in the game so far. It's a nice little ball there from Hardy. It's with Lavery now, and Jackson could be in, but he didn't play it. Instead we're keeping it around the midfield, probably more confidently than we have all game. Norman's got a run here from Laurenzi again. Can he get inside again? No, but we do have a corner. If we could nick one back here, who knows what would happen. It's headed clear though. We've recycled it, and it's with Hardy now. Back to Laurenzi again. Kinsella's gone down the outside. He's turned back in. I wanted that to go back to Laurenzi, but never mind, we've still got it. Hardy's got it now. Morgan could hit one here, but instead he run straight into the defender. And that is probably going to be our last attack. Hopefully we don't concede another one here. I don't think Portsmouth are even going for another one by the looks of it. No, he's just dribbling it around. It's a decent ball outside. Hunt left's got it. He's just laid it off to Walks. That's an outrageous cross, and I did think for a second now it was going to be 4-1. It might still be. They've got a corner. That cross was absolutely outrageous. It really was. Our keeper's got it now. Time's up. As soon as we throw or kick this now, that is it. That is game. Unfortunately, we start with a loss. Like I say, hopefully this will be one of the more tougher opponents in the league. Because if not, and that's anything to go by, we could really be in trouble this season. But that is going to do it for this episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Unfortunately, we couldn't start with a win, but it's the first game of the season. I'm sure it's not a pattern for the rest of the season. Hopefully, like I say, you've enjoyed it. If you did, please leave the like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.